don't know anything about the gun. Okay. Well, I want to let you know that we're working a murder. That the same type of weapon was used in. I told you. Tell me a fucking again, Brandon. Tell me again.
Something, these voices was telling me just to do it. And I know it wasn't me, but I did it.
January 8th, 2018 started out as a typical Monday evening for Ida Mae Ford. She had spent her day tending to her duties and enjoying the comforts of her modest home on Winship Street. Little did she know that her life was about to be tragically cut short. Around 9:30 p.m., wrapped up in her pajamas and wearing a shower cap, Ida Mae decided to step outside, carrying an umbrella against the misty night air, planning to head to the nearby corner store. She carried her cell phone in hand, unaware that something truly gruesome was awaiting her.
911, where's your emergency?
Hello, yes, ma'am. I was passing through Winship Street, and I seen a guy laying in the middle of the road next to with an umbrella.
Do you know if this was a white male or a black male?
It's a black male, and he was just laying in the middle of the street. But like I said, it's very dark out here, because it's like right here by a cemetery. So I didn't want to stop.
Upon their arrival, the deputies discovered Ida Mae lying on the pavement with a gunshot wound to her chest.
Yeah, it's gonna be gunshot wounds. I haven't opened her jacket yet. Looks like there may be one to the leg. That's where the blood is. There's several shell casings. Looks like there's one to the leg. There's several shell casings. Yes, it's gonna be a female.
Following the identification, investigator Daniel Shirley wasted no time. A search warrant for Ida's residence was swiftly obtained, and the team descended on her home. They combed through every room, every drawer, every hidden corner, but found nothing of consequence. Determined to dig deeper, Shirley turned his attention to Ida's phone and discovered that Daryl Coleman was the last person to contact the victim. Despite multiple attempts to reach him, Daryl refused to speak with deputies. Investigators soon uncovered another name linked to the victim, Theodore Golston. On the 9th of January, detectives picked him up from his residence at Montpelier Avenue for interrogation. During questioning, Golston confirmed he knew Ida Mae Ford, admitting they had been in a relationship. He revealed they had lived together for several years, but had since separated. When asked about his whereabouts on the 8th of January, Golston claimed that he was at work until around 5 p.m. and then went home. He denied leaving his residence at any point during the night before law enforcement made contact.
There was something happened tonight, okay?
What's going on with that?
And unfortunately, Ida has passed away.
Gee,
Yes, she is.
somebody killed that?
Yes, it was not. She died of natural causes. Someone has actually just taken her life. Well, we're not for sure yet. We've got waiting on the autopsy stuff to be done, but that's why I'm trying to hunt you down and speak with you and see what maybe you can give me. That might can help me find out who did it.
Dang.
Have you ever heard of the name Daryl Coleman? You've never heard of the name Daryl Coleman?
I don't even know.
Golston also provided an alibi, stating his live-in girlfriend, Nikki Blackshear, was with him. After the interview, Golston was released, as the detectives saw no evidence suggesting that Golston had met with Ida or was aware of any circumstances surrounding her untimely death. Investigators began to go back and suspect that Coleman's efforts to avoid contact, along with the fact that he was the last person to speak with the victim, indicated that he may have played a role in her death. Along with assistance from the Fugitive Task Force, deputies finally located and picked up Daryl Coleman at his residence on Spencer Circle.
Coleman?
Yeah.
I'm going to get a sheriff. I'm going to get a sheriff. The sheriff will talk to you real quick. Can y'all folks set up that phone? You know why you're down here?
I got an idea, maybe about Ida.
Yeah, that's what I want to talk to you about. How long y'all been seeing
I met her about a month ago.
How'd y'all meet?
I met her about a month period of time about a little season.
Yeah.
I was just talking to my one friend that she came by, we talked a little bit, and she went on down the road, and I finished talking to my friend, and I went another way, but I bumped into her later on, and we just, started a conversation, started talking, and she invited me over, so we started talking, trying to get to know each other.
During the interrogation, Coleman admitted to knowing Ida Mae Ford for about a month. He revealed that he had visited her residence and spent a few nights there. When questioned about his whereabouts the night of the murder, Coleman had the perfect answer ready. Coleman further explained his whereabouts that evening, claiming that he watched the game with his mother before walking over to a friend's house, a friend who was nicknamed Squirrel and lived on Travis Boulevard. To verify his alibi, investigators reached out to both his mother and Squirrel, who both confirmed Coleman's account.
Speaking with people that knew Ida, I guess at one time that she had a drug problem.
Mm-hmm.
You familiar with that?
No. She told me she didn't like drugs and stuff.
She never told you that she had one time had been involved in drugs?
Nah. Okay. I guess that might have been a talk for the future or something.
Mm-hmm.
But, nah.
No, not really. It doesn't have any bearing on that or whatever. Do you have any issues there on drugs? And if you do, you do. I mean,
yeah.
What kind of problems you got?
I know they do the smoke some.
That's what? I mean, like,
weed, stones. Yeah.
Stones?
Yeah.
But she didn't.
Nah.
She didn't do with you or never say she did or anything like that?
Nah.
During further questioning, Coleman revealed that he first learned about the murder from a friend who called him to ask if he had spoken with Ida, mentioning there had been a murder in her neighborhood.
I told her I talked to her earlier, and I said, well, I didn't talk to her later. I said, but let me call her and, see what she okay and everything. So I called, and the phone kept going to the answer machine. So I left a message like, girl, call me back. I'm trying to see if you're okay or you up on the corner being nosy. Because I didn't know it was her at that time. I said, you up on the corner being nosy or whatever. And I got called probably about 5 or 6 times. But nobody never answered the phone.
Well,
that made me start, kind of worrying a little bit.
Now, around what time was that?
And, I got to get it off the cold.
Can you sit up here where I can see it? You don't mind?
Yeah.
The detective contacted Coleman's friend, Brenda Clark, by phone. Clark stated that she saw Coleman 3 times on the night of the murder, once at Joy's Pick and Scratch, located across the street from his house, and then in the driveway with a beer in hand. Clark added that she learned about the murder from the news and then immediately called Coleman to inform him. Meanwhile, Coleman, seated alone in the interrogation room, began to show signs of nervousness. Minutes later, with his story holding up under scrutiny, Coleman could finally breathe a sigh of relief. However, the detective's suspicions lingered, leading him to question Coleman about the weapons he owns.
Yeah.
When was the last time you shot a gun?
In years.
Like?
Yeah. Go ahead.
What?
I want to test it or something.
Shit, some tells me you've been down this road before.
Nah, I just checked out some detective things and what they be doing and stuff. So I figured since you asked me that question, you might have some kind of test you want to check it on.
There it is. Let me see your hand. Oh, well.
Talk.
Talk.
Like Rufus, you know.
So my crime lab guys, they on the way down here, so you let them swab your hands?
Yeah.
Okay, without a search warrant, consent?
Yeah.
Okay. Because you said the last time that you fired a gun was years ago?
Yeah.
Okay.
So everything on there. I don't know how or where it comes from. It's some kind of miracle with some.
You ain't been around nobody else shooting up the
chemicals or something. Oh, I said years ago. No, it didn't last. A year or two ago.
Okay. Well, you said years ago. When you say years ago, I'm assuming you're talking like back in the day.
Yep, 10, 15, 20.
But you say it's been about a year ago?
Yeah, a year, maybe more than a year.
The detective tests Coleman's honesty by asking what punishment he believes the real killer deserves. Someone guilty of the crime might suggest a lighter sentence or rationalize why the murderer should be given a second chance, thus revealing their own guilt. To collect all the details about this case, at The Villains, we use a VPN to access news, research, and documents that would otherwise be restricted. Without it, these videos would be impossible to make. That's why we recommend today's video sponsor, Private Internet Access, or PIA. PIA is one of the most trusted VPN services out there, providing top-tier security, ultra-fast servers, and a seamless user experience. So what exactly does a VPN do? It encrypts your internet connection, hides your IP address, and protects your personal data. Basically, it puts your online activity in stealth mode. Whether you're streaming, gaming, or just browsing, PIA keeps your data private and your experience smooth. Want access to global content? With PIA, you can change your virtual location to 81 different countries, unlocking shows, movies, and websites that might not be available in your region. And if you're a gamer, PIA is a total game changer. It can lower your ping, reduce lag, and connect you to optimized servers so you can play at peak performance. And most importantly, your data stays yours. PIA uses military-grade encryption and has a strict no-logs policy. Even they don't track what you do online. Right now, you can get 83% off private internet access through my link in the description. That's just $2.03 a month, plus 4 extra months completely free. Stay private, stay secure, and browse without limits with private internet access. Deputy Johnson from District 3 ran the serial number of a .40 caliber pistol recovered during a traffic stop. Since Ida had been killed with a .40 caliber weapon, this discovery raised suspicion. Johnson had pulled over Brandon Mitchell for a tag violation, and upon detecting a strong smell of marijuana, searched the vehicle. He found a black backpack with about a pound of marijuana and a Smith & Wesson .40 caliber pistol. Mitchell was taken down to the station for questioning about Ida's murder and a separate shooting at Mercer University involving a .40 caliber weapon.
All right, Vernon, here's the thing. Now, I already know that you know, because you were out there, that the deputy's got a gun out of your car. Okay? And what kind of gun was it? Your gun, right? Your gun? Okay. They got a gun out of your car. They didn't tell you that at the time? Okay. Well, they got a gun out of your car. All right. That is your car. You said it's your car.
Yeah, my car.
Okay. How long have you had it?
I just got it.
Yeah, but you just got it 5 minutes ago.
No.
Yesterday. Or
Yeah, probably yesterday. No, yesterday, day before yesterday.
Okay, yesterday, day before yesterday. Where'd you buy it from?
The dude, I think it's CNC. Nigga named Mike, he did right on Pine on it. He got cars in the lot. You know what I'm saying? I drove it off the lot. He didn't tell me nothing about no insurance. Like I would have when he got it. Man, I drove it off the lot. Though. I still got the little operating tag, the temp tag on it.
Okay. Well, like I said, they got a gun out of the car. And of course, you know, that gun will be tested and stuff like that and all. So if your DNA will be on it, I mean, we'll know, right? Okay. So, I mean, are you saying you don't know anything about the gun? Okay. Well, the gun is a .40 caliber. Okay? Now, going to let you know that we're working a murder. Okay? That the same type of weapon was used in. And you just so happen to get picked up today with what? The same type of weapon, right? So, how do you think that looks?
You know what that supposed to mean?
I'm just telling you. You put two together.
That don't mean a damn thing.
Okay.
I just left my girlfriend.
Okay. Where's your girlfriend live at?
Call her. She didn't tell you I just left. She was calling the phone anyway. She want to know where I'm at.
Where she live at?
On site.
Cypress?
Yeah, Cypress. Right down by Burn, where proceeding?
A proceeding?
I don't know, proceeding.
Yeah,
it's over there by
The detectives are direct and no nonsense, giving Mitchell no opportunity to make up a story. By the way, if you're finding the video interesting so far, do us a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. It really supports the channel. Now, let's dive right back in.
Well, how long have you known about the gun? How long has it been in your car? How long have you touched it?
What you mean, how long I touched it? I got it when I found the book bag and I walked on my before I bought my car.
Okay, where was that at?
My mom had on E.
Okay, so you found the book bag.
And the gun was in the book bag too.
Okay. And what else was in the bag?
What you find, man?
I didn't find anything.
Man, you know what's going on.
Yeah.
That's probate, right?
Same difference.
No.
Big difference.
Big difference. Listen.
Well, you ain't find it where he told you.
He pulled you over.
Right? Bullshit.
Okay, that's well and good. We ain't talking to you about what he got in the car. There's only one thing we're concerned with when you understand what we asking you about.
Yeah,
you know what that one thing is?
That gun.
That pistol, right? That's the only thing you worry about. For anything else, that's what you gotta deal with him with. Our job is totally different than that. We give them back.
I ain't got nothing to do with nobody.
Okay, that's what we asking about this gun.
And I'm telling you, I ain't got nothing to do with that bottle of that gun.
Okay, so but you saying that you got the gun out of a book bag. When did you get that book bag?
Well, I bought my car. When I got my car. I found the book bag. Then I bought my car.
Where you found the book bag?
On my mom street in the bush.
And your mom stays on Edmund Place, right?
Eden. Now my girlfriend on with y'all.
And how long ago was that? How many days ago was that? A week ago or something?
No, when I bought my car.
Okay, you said you bought the car when?
When I don't know, shit. Call Mike, 978-0007. He'll tell you when I bought that motherfucker.
Who was Mike?
The dude at the car dealer place.
So he's one of the workers there?
He owned it.
Okay.
He can't say, he don't say anything right up under the thing. That's what I'm telling y'all.
All right. So you found the book bag right before you bought the car?
No, I'd like the day before. Then I went and bought my car.
Surprisingly, Mitchell, too, had an alibi for the night of the murder. However, his evasiveness only heightened the detective's suspicions.
She's vouching for you.
Man, hell yeah. And my daughter can help too. You want when we get home? She'll tell you.
Oh, you know.
3 to be 4. She'll tell you where I be every night. You want me to tell you call brother, you call mom, you call, man, about 7, 8 people in that house that know I be up every night.
Okay.
Y'all shit.
We talking about one.
No, I'm talking about they be right out there. Yeah.
We talking about Monday, period.
Alright, well shit, they know I be up every day. I mean, every Monday. They know that all that Monday.
Okay.
Y'all chill.
And your brother.
No, we're the only one in here tripping.
Is Jermaine.
Huh?
Jeremy, right?
Well, there was. I was at his house.
Right, Monday.
Around what time was that?
I told you, I take my daughter to school at 8.
Tell me a fucking again,
Brand.
Tell me again!
It's like the movie now. It's like I tell you, I take my daughter to school at 8 o'clock every morning. And then I leave my girlfriend by 12 when she go to work, because she go to Bubble Mobile Tide at 11:30.
I'm talking about every morning. We talking about Monday.
That's what I'm talking about. Monday. It's the same difference. What you mean? Monday, I took my daughter to school. Boom, dropped off. I came back home. I got there about 8:30, 9 o'clock. I laid down, left about 11:30. When my girlfriend went to Bubble Mobile Tide, then I went to G-Man house. Who I'm telling you about. I left his house about motherfucking 8 or 9 o'clock when she get off at Mason, because she get off at her dad's off at 3, then go to Mason about 4 or 5. That's what I'm telling y'all. Then I went home to her, and she can tell you that.
The detectives employed the classic good cop, bad cop tactic. Detective Shirley adopted the role of the tough, intimidating bad cop, sitting close to the suspect and raising his voice when answers were withheld. Meanwhile, Detective Shockley remained calm and approachable, playing the role of the good cop. This dynamic encourages the suspect to trust the good cop, opening up under the pressure of the bad cop's intimidation.
All right, what's your last name?
My name is.
Anybody else with you?
Hmm?
Anybody else with you?
We're talking
Riding, going to different places?
No.
By yourself?
It's right on.
It's around the corner. Well, I don't care if it's around the fucking corner. I'm telling you, you have another motherfucker in the car.
Okay? You get what I'm saying now? You understand? Another motherfucker in the fucking car with you. Or you were by yourself. Which one?
I rolled by myself to my brother's house, and I rolled back from my brother's house with myself. Back to my girlfriend's house.
What's your one?
932 261.
And his address is?
I live down in England.
So, when you left there to go to your girlfriend's house on Cypress, did you walk on English Avenue?
No.
Cypress? How'd you get there?
I drove back through Roy, where he then pulled me over.
What you was driving?
My car.
Okay, what you just said you got the car about 2 days ago.
I told you, I can't remember when I bought my car. Call Mike. He'll tell you, I told you, call Mike. He'll tell you when I bought $2,500. 2006 Crime Vic.
You can't remember when you bought your car?
No.
How the fuck can you not remember when you bought your car?
Man, it had to be on the south. I think it was on the south, matter of fact.
On the 7th you bought it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, which would mean that would be Sunday.
Nah, hell no, I might have been on Sunday.
You want to make a bet?
It was Sunday?
You want to fucking make a bet? Now, look, we can pull a calendar up, okay? Look at that. Sunday, the 7th.
Alright, grab my phone. I took a picture of my car the day I bought it. I can show you the day I bought that motherfucker. It probably was a Sunday.
Okay.
Matter of fact, his car in my car. It's sitting in the motherfucking unit.
Okay. So, because they got your phone, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll be able to look through the phone. What's your phone? The 972-1590?
Mm-hmm.
The detectives paused to regroup. After a brief break, Detective Shockley returned to inquire about Mitchell's whereabouts on the day of the murder.
Where's your phone go?
Yeah.
You got some weed on you somewhere.
No.
What you so sweet over?
Yeah, I told you I know. As a matter of fact, I was at my brother's playhouse watching football game.
So you went at the other brother?
Nah, I was at Tay House, so we had left his house and went to my brother's house.
Now who's Tay?
That's my other brother. We stay around the corner from my brother.
What phone?
We stay around the corner from Eagle House. Both on the same place here.
How old Tay is?
He about 23, 24. Shit, I don't know.
You baby?
Yeah, you know the Georgia game was on.
Monday.
Yeah. Boom. I told she had just rolled up and text me. I told her I needed to text me. She just rolled up. She said, she told me to get my daughter on E at 8:49. I told her I was gonna come in the hat when it was like at halftime. What time the game started?
Like about 8.
I'm saying I told her I was gonna come out on 8:49. Then I went on to people's phone. You got my phone? And I tell you what time when the people pulled up on me. Cause yeah, they came to bring me some money. I can tell you what time I was still sitting there at my brother's house because they came to bring me some money. Cause I was waiting for my other brother to come back.
So my Tay out, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then boom, what I say? And then I had went home. Shit, I don't think I'll tell when I got home though. But yeah, shit, I told you I was at my brother's house watching the game, food out. It was about 12 people that could watch.
Did you have that book back then?
Mm.
So you haven't found it yet?
Yeah. Shit, I told you I went driving with it.
But you had found it already.
Yeah.
And you found it what, Saturday, Sunday, Monday?
Man, I told you, I don't know where they found it.
Well, the same day you bought the car, right? Or before you bought the car?
No, I found it the day before I bought the car.
And you bought the car Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Mitchell stated that on the night of the murder, he was at his brother's house on Vineville Avenue watching a game. To verify his alibi, Detective Shirley contacted Mitchell's brother, Dasha, who confirmed that Brandon had indeed been at his home, consistent with the timeline that Mitchell had provided. With Mitchell's consent, DNA swabs were taken, and the gun was submitted to the crime lab for analysis.
Okay. This is me as an adult to an adult, showing you're a young man, as a parent, okay? I'm telling them that we ain't got to worry about no more. And plus, what we do for a living, I don't believe that. And the reason listen. The reason being is that I kill my gratitude.
Okay.
Okay. 30 homicides last year.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how many of those 30 do you think were your age and younger? I would probably say, 80%. I'm just telling you something to keep this in mind. I know you won't believe me. You'll walk away from here and say, fuck him. If you keep going like you're going now, you're going to end up being a statistic. We're going to be investigating. I'm going to be standing over your dead body in the street, okay?
After a pep talk about making better choices, Brandon Mitchell was eventually arrested on unrelated charges, including possession of marijuana and illegal weapon carry. After hours of intense interrogation, the detectives were left with more questions than answers. There were no suspects, no clear motives. With each passing hour, the case grew colder. That is, until, miles away, someone in custody made a shocking confession.
So, from my understanding, and I know you probably want to jump to the point, I know they've been talking to you for a long time today, right?
Yes, sir.
And I know you probably won't be around the bush about it or nothing, but they said, we were informed about a homicide of a lady in Macon that happened a few weeks back. What can you tell me about that?
I saw a lady walking, I think I was right before Madden Avenue. She asked me where I was going. She said she was going one way. I said I was going another way, and I shot her.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about, you said it was on Madden.
Or right before Madden.
And so was she coming towards you, bud?
I kind of stopped and waited till she caught up to me, and we had those few words, and I shot her.
Okay. Where did you shoot her at?
I think maybe in the head, probably.
On January 24, 2018, Quentin Sanders was formally charged with murder, aggravated assault, hijacking a motor vehicle, and armed robbery. He was promptly taken into custody. In August of 2022, years after Ida Mae Ford's tragic death, Quentin Sanders stood in court and was convicted on all charges. The judge handed down a life sentence, ensuring that he would spend the rest of his days behind bars. Grandmother and cherished member of her community had had her life cruelly stolen by a man consumed by impulses that he couldn't control. Her absence left a void that can never truly be filled. Now, if you think this case was horrific, you need to check out my video on the evil nurse who did the unthinkable.